Baptism by fire here today, or sort of. John, good morning. Tina, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome up from Coeur d'Alene. How was your drive?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
We had a great time. It was
Roads were
nice and
clear.
clear. Roads were great, and
Didn't have any altercations with any wildlife either, so that was a big plus.
That's good. Boy, it's busy. Traffic's busy in Coeur d'Alene these days, is it?
It is. Yeah, we have. Well, it's kind of the crossroads, so there's people coming north, south, east, and west right through there.
Right. I don't know where to start on this, but you guys basically, and I'm in nutshelling it, of course, but you took an old school and turned it into a motel. Was that your vision?
not just any school. It was John's elementary school. He went first through fourth grade, as did most of his siblings in the building, and his dad was the PTA president there for nearly a decade. So we have a lot of personal attachment to this building, and it's now a 14-room beautiful inn, and this time of year it's really pretty.
Who did the carpenter work, yourself then, John?
Well, most of the interior reconstruction was done by another gentleman that we purchased it from, and then we went in and did a total renovation inside as well as outside. And the grounds, that's all us. We did everything exterior, from the waterfalls to fountains to plants to hundreds of arborvitae shrubs. And thank goodness we're fenced in, because the deer can't get the deer candy. You know, as anybody who has arborvitaes up here know, they will be chewed down to the roots.
Same thing. Yeah.
So
the same issues.
So beautiful grounds, beautiful gardens, all surrounding that big brick historic building. Yeah, so a lot of work in that.
Well, you think about doing a home renovation, you start tearing things apart, and all of a sudden there's a lot of surprises. Did you run into a lot when you got rolling?
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the biggest surprises was when we were renovating the banquet room, which is where our breakfast area is now, was when I tore out the ceiling, I got dumped on by sawdust. They insulated the whole building with sawdust, because Coeur d'Alene was a lumber town back in the day, and
Lots of sawdust.
they took all the excess sawdust, they just packed it in the walls and the floors.
It made
and
for
said,
good insulation with young kids running around, but boy, I tell you what, if a spark would have went off in there, that would have been the end of that. But fortunately, it was a very well cared for building, and nothing ever happened like that. But as we were tearing those ceilings down, we had so much sawdust in our hair. I thought we were.
Yeah, it was a messy job.
It was very messy.
Was it the same name of the school as the motel? It was Roosevelt then, too?
Well, the Roosevelt was named after Theodore Roosevelt, one of the presidents of the United States from 1904 to 1908.
He went on a campaign
right through
our area, and so he got off the train right in front of what the Coeur d'Alene Resort is right now, walked up the hill to see where they were building the new school, and in the next month's school board meeting, they decided to name the building the Roosevelt School.
And the nice thing about it was that was the very first permanent elementary school. It was part of the grounds in which Fort Sherman sat on. And Teddy Roosevelt, being a big cavalry man for the United States Cavalry and U.S. Army, he was really interested in how the conversion was taking place. When the U.S. government closed that fort, they turned it over to the city of Coeur d'Alene, and the city sold off parcels, and they were instructed that they had to have certain public works projects going, and the school was one of those.
I wonder how big Coeur d'Alene was at that time. It wouldn't have been even nearer where it is now. You're 45,000 now or so, are you not?
56,000 and counting. You know.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, and back then it was 12,000.
I see.
12,000, and it stayed at 12,000 for almost 25, 30 years.
We joke around, though, that because it says the Roosevelt School in stone over the entrance of the building. So there's no changing the name. It's in stone.
Right.
Unless I go up and carve it out,
They're not going to do
chisel
that.
it away.
He's not going to do that.
Where'd you get the idea from, though? Is it just something you thought you'd like to restore the building and do something progressive with it then?
Well, this was kind of my dream. I told John that I'm from Kentucky originally, and I've always tried to get closer to home. And I said to him, why don't we buy a bed and breakfast, run it during the season, make enough money to pay like property taxes or a nice vacation, and then close it up and, do our normal job. And so in 1999, we had a death in the family, came to Coeur d'Alene from where we were working at the time, and stayed at the Roosevelt.
During our anniversary.
Yeah.
It was our 20th anniversary.
And found out it was for sale. And 2 months later, we owned it. So he goes, now, honey, here's your dream. And I'm like, but this isn't back in Kentucky. He goes, but this is even better. So here we are back in Coeur d'Alene and running his old school as a bed and breakfast. or as an inn.
Location. Her first dream was we were driving through Indiana heading to Kentucky. She goes, look at that old mansion way out there that you could hardly see it. And I go, yeah, nobody's going to go there. Nobody's going to go there.
But hopefully everybody comes to the Roseville.
Downtown Coeur d'Alene, though, we have all the attractions, and then you can park your car and never get back in it again if you want while you're staying.
Yeah, you've got nice views from the rooms too, do you?
Oh, yes, we do. We've
Some of
got
our
our
rooms
second and
actually
third
use the
floor that face the lake all have views of the lake. So, but yeah, you can walk to all the restaurants, all the activities downtown. The lake is just right there. The beach is right there. So you can come down and just have all kinds of fun. This time of year, the beach maybe isn't the biggest draw, but we have the Holiday Light Cruise. And actually, we are located roughly 1 hour from 4 different ski resorts. So you could come and ski a different resort every day, stay with us, and
Just bounce around.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you've got that underground cycling too that goes on the Highway 90 corridor into Montana. That's the one I want to do.
Oh,
what are they-
the Hiawatha Trail is closed.
Yeah, that's fine. I know. I cycle to work every day. That's
that one
okay.
is closed right now. They are grooming. Well, they're open. They're skiing, so that's covered in snow now. So they actually closed that tunnel that goes from Montana into North Idaho. So yeah, they shut. They've got these gigantic doors. That they put on that, or maybe they were on there when the train used to run through there as well. But yeah, they shut that thing down when the snow starts to fly. They close that up.
But that Hiawatha Trail is beautiful.
It
though.
is.
Sure
Yes.
looks like it.
It
I want
is.
to do
It's
it.
awesome. Well, come on down and do it.
No,
Well, and
planning
then
to,
there's
yes.
the trail along Coeur d'Alene Lake as well, called the Centennial Trail. It goes from Spokane all the way to the far east end of Coeur d'Alene Lake, called Wolf Lodge Bay, or we call it Higgins Point State Park. But the city and the county keeps that trail open all year round. They have a plow that they run along that trail. And I'm watching people jogging, walking their dogs, riding their bikes just the other day. I'm going, people,
It's cold.
it's cold out here, and they've got their gloves and their hats. These are diehard bicyclists, you know. They break out that bike and they're riding it.
You know, I tell them this all the time, though. You don't have to warm the vehicle up. You just get on your bike and you're there. So you save a lot of time.
You just warm up yourself as you're riding along.
There you
Yeah.
go.
do.
Yeah. Come back, your eyelids are like frozen open, you know.
Well, that's neat. You grew up in the area. You've seen growth. We were talking about that. Cranbrook and Coeur d'Alene were about the same size in the 70s, and
Right.
triple time now down there.
Yeah. With Coeur d'Alene being in the 50,000 mark, you know, area, the whole area after COVID kind of changed a lot of things. You know, we've seen landmark changes in population. You know, there's in the 1905 when the school was first built, and there was the logging industry and the mining industry, and all of a sudden there was this boom, and they went from 2,000 people to 12,000 people, and then it was pretty stagnant for many, many years until 1974 when we had the World's Fair in Spokane. Boom, the population jumped another 15, 20,000, you know, and all of a sudden we're up to 24,000 people. And then it just kind of sat there. And now we had COVID. And everybody, it was crazy. I mean, the real estate market went through the roof.
And construction
Insane, actually.
down there is just, it's unbelievable. I mean,
yeah.
what used to be prairies is now just houses and
Houses.
apartment buildings. And it's just, the growth has been phenomenal. It's been
Good for business, but a little disconcerting at the same time.
Well, yeah, because you go to a place like that because there's not a lot of people, and now there's a lot of people. And Spokane's growing like crazy too.
the whole area is.
The nice thing about Coeur d'Alene that sets it apart from a lot of different places that we've been to
Got a lake.
is, well, it's got a lake, and the downtown area, the historic core area of Coeur d'Alene is pretty much unchanged. There's a few things that you'll see. We've got 3 high-rise condominiums that are sprinkled around down there that have the big view of the lake and everything. But for the most part, that Main Street feel with the little businesses and shops and things up and down the street, all the twinkly lights in the trees as you go up and down. It truly is still a very magical feeling when you're downtown right by the lake.
And still very old town feeling as
Yeah.
well, because all the growth is north, because that's the only way it can go. To the south, it's the lake. So everybody's pushing north. So those of us who live in the downtown area, it still feels like the same old quaint little town. So that's awesome.
Now that your dream is done, what do you do now? Are you going to keep running it for the rest of your life now? Or
Well, it looks like it, but
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
We did have it up for sale, and
got to Yalter twice and,
Yeah.
and got jilted. So we've taken it off the market. It's going to be ours. And now we're just waiting for those grandkids to get a little bit older. We've got 2 that are interested in it.
You're
So
going to run a motel.
yeah, we're just
Yes,
going to keep it running for them and let them take it over. So it's in striking distance. So
What a wonderful story all around, though. Gee.
we'll just
Yeah.
keep keeping it in the family from, Dad as PTA president, kids attending. Our grandkids call us Nanny and Popo, so us running it, and then the grandkids. So we've got a dream.
we have a generational thing going on there. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have one of the grandkids or 2 of them take it over and run it. It'd be
They've
be
grown
nice.
up there. They have all grown up there.
They
And so
they don't know anything different from Nanny and Popo. That's Nanny and Popo's home, and that's what they think of it as, And,
but they come and visit every summer, and if any of your guests have been to our place, they know that Emma may be bringing out your breakfast, and Eden will bring out your juice, and William will take your order, and so they do turn down. They do everything. So
I was asking off air though because I had someone say you've got to ask her, does she make all the stockings for Christmas? Apparently every holiday you just decorate so lovely, but you made them all.
I did. Christmas is our forte. My daughter and I were counting them up. We have 20. This will be our 29th stocking that we're making right now, because we're making one for John's sister and her husband. They spend Christmas with us every year. And so as you come into the building, going up our 3-story staircase, there are handmade stockings, and they are very elaborate, intricate stockings.
So let
And
me share a little story on these stockings with you and the listeners. There were a few stockings looking a little like they needed to be cleaned, because we use these stockings. And, Christmas morning comes, they're full of good stuff. And so we took them up to the cleaners, and the cleaner says, oh, yeah, I can't clean those. The glue will come undone and they'll fall apart. And my wife looked at him and goes, glue? Because there's no glue on any of this. This is all stitch
I
work.
hand stitch
all the
everything.
sequins, all the beads, everything is needle and thread. And he goes, oh, good news. I can clean those.
That's something people are remembering when they go. Big compliment on that.
Well, thank you. And all of our rooms, all of our guest rooms have trees in them. So we have 26 Christmas trees throughout the building. So it really is a holiday wonderland inside there.
Gee, thanks for coming to visit today. Is there anything else you want to get out while we've got you here
Well,
today?
I just...
Invite Canadians down, I'm sure.
Please
but-
come. We've missed you guys.
We've missed you guys during the COVID years, and we'd like to have you come back and visit us again. And in fact, your brother and sister-in-law have been there many times, and they need to come back too.
They're gonna.
So and
Bring you along.
and drag you along, or come on your own, whichever the case. And anybody else up in this neighborhood, we'd love to have you all come back again.
And good luck Wednesday at the World Cup. You guys are going up against Belgium.
That's
number 2,
yeah. You
so-
guys play Wales at noon today.
Yeah.
USA and
Which means we'll probably lose.
So good luck to you. But please come visit us at the Roosevelt. We'd love to have you, and thanks for having us up this morning.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, John.
Yeah, very much. Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, the Roosevelt Motel Hotel.
It's actually a boutique hotel, but we call it the Roosevelt Inn.
Make it official. Thank you all the way up from Coeur d'Alene to come and see us here today.